we're back online, I think. Hopefully, large glitches. I think there's a couple of things downloading in the background. So this may or may... Hello, my name is Jamie, and I have mentioned Rec Room a couple of times. I tend to talk about lots of things that have to do with gaming and education because I think games are a good way to practice and to play with some of the skills that we learn in school. And so I mentioned it to the Compass Charter guys and girls, and I'm excited to actually, I'm really doing this broadcast to kind of document some of the cool things in Rec Room, so I'm excited to kind of be here virtually and talk about it. So right now I'm actually doing this from my PS4. I'm in VR. You can totally do this with an iPad or an iOS if you don't, iPad or iPhone if you don't want to be in virtual reality. If you have another VR system like the Oculus, that is also an option. But I've got full movement here. I can look around. I can actually walk around too. So I'm going to walk around, stand over by the mirror, and there I am. So you have a half a body. You have the hands and the torso, and you can kind of configure your character however you want. So that's definitely a fun thing to do. And I'll show you a little bit. Lately, I've been kind of growing a beard here, so I decided to have my character have a beard too. And then can go into outfits, and you can kind of configure your character to look the way you want. I don't think I've saved any outfits here, so I'm actually just going to, close it. Oh, yes I can. There we go. And what am I going to do here? Oh, actually I'm going to take a little step back. I'm going to hit customize, and you can see the things that I'm currently wearing and some of the things that are available. Some of these things cost Rec Room tokens, if you're familiar with V-Bucks, just like that. There's also a lot of free things in here, so you can grab hats and all kinds of things. And they've changed the interface a little bit. I'm kind of excited. I haven't been in here in a little bit of time, but so there's all kinds of things that you can pick up. Let's see. I want to find some of the free ones. My clothes. This is some of the stuff that I have already. Ooh, glasses. Yeah, I should totally wear glasses. See, you can get lost in this for like hours and hours, just like configuring and things like that. So that's certainly something that can be done. I'm going to go ahead and hit done on here. There is a... I'm going to get out of here. There's this cool menu where you can add friends and things like that. So I've got a couple of my friends that have been added, and that's how you guys can... You have full control over who you invite and who you don't, and how long they can stay and how long they can't stay. So you can, remove a friend, things like that. You can see nearby people. So I'm just going to go ahead and close that. And if you glance over to the side, you can see some of the... one of these I built, and one of these someone else built. I will give you... It's probably not too hard to guess which is the one that I built. That one. That's the one that I built. So I was trying to build Iron Man, and as you can see, it wasn't... It was... it's not bad for my first try, but it's a little... Yeah, we've got some work to do on making Iron Man, but it was a fun little project to get started on. So, anyway, one of the things I wanted to really show off, besides the fact that, hey, look, I'm in VR and you can, have a physical presence along with your friends, which is pretty cool, is some of the rooms that that you can create. And I'm gonna go ahead to. This room is not what I want. I'm going to go to create. I'm going to take a look at my rooms. And I'm going to jump into my digestion room here. I'm not sure if it's still transmitting while I'm teleporting, but I was building a room as a way to interact with some of the concepts of digestion. I really didn't get too far on it, but I can show you the room and show you kind of some of the things that you can, just barely scratching the surface of some of the things that you can do. So this is the basic classroom that I was building, and most of this comes pre-arranged already. In other words, the walls and stuff. I put down the floor, and then I added this ceiling up here. Crafted it myself. You know, I'm really good at building 2 blocks. And then I added the bookcases and the books and the dry erase board over there. And I added the desks. There's still a lot of work to do with this room. Right now you can still kind of pick up the desks, which is hilarious. And they don't actually have gravity right now. So they kind of just hang in midair until you decide to reposition them, which I think is kind of fun. I can actually push them through the floor too, but that is not what I want to do. So I'm going to put that desk back. And you'll notice out here it looks like either grass or, you know, some sort of bottomless pit, but it is not. It is basically grass. And so one of the cool things you can do is you have the use of this thing called the maker pen. And I'm going to go ahead and bring this out. And this is your main creativity tool inside Rec Room. And one of the things that I was thinking is, you know, when dealing with, I don't know, rocks or something along that line, I'm going to look at the top of my maker pen. I'm going to say create. And I want to change the type of creation I'm making here. I'm going to open my palette. And I want to make a sphere, and rubber floor is not the texture I want. What texture do I want here? Well, gravel, that might be a good one to start with. And I'm just going to use my maker pen, and I've chosen sphere, and gravel is the texture, and I'm just going to make a sphere here. Actually, it's sort of oblong right now. And there's my first sphere. Now, it's not exactly what I want, so I'm actually going to go over here to delete. Use my maker pen, and I'm going to delete it really quickly. I'm going to say, you know what, that's not the color that I want. I'm thinking more of a grayish color because I want to do something rock-like. I'm like, oh, okay. So now I've got a gray sphere. Oop. And I need to go back to create here. And I'm just going to make my sphere. Okay. Not too bad. Make a couple of rocks here. And I'm going to go ahead and close my palette really quickly. And I'm going to say I'm done editing my thing. I'm going to... Oops, that was not what I wanted to do. Ooh. Get rid of that for a second. And I'm going to drop my... oh, that's right. I forgot that these two... I'm going to pick this up really quickly, and I'm going to edit this again. And I'm just going to get rid of one of these things. Get rid of one rock here. Go to delete. And I'm going to hit done editing. And drop my maker pen. And now we've got our rock. Cool. Okay. And right now it doesn't have any particular properties, but, you know, if we're studying rocks or something like that, we can fill up a room with rocks. And I'm going to grab my maker pen again. Let's say I wanted to make a bunch of rocks. Well, I have this cool ability to clone things. So I'm going to grab my rock here and make a couple of clones this way. And let's see, select configure. That's what I meant to do. Configure it, grab my palette here, and I could give it some density. That's interesting. I don't know if I want to give it density. I more want to give it gravity. Let's see. This is changing what I create. Go with done editing. There we go. Now that I'm not editing it, I can give it some different properties. So I'm going to say physical. And I'm going to get out of configuring an object. is closed. Don't really want it to support that. Let's see, solid and affected by gravity. Okay. So we got that. Close it here. Oops. Close it. I am done with this, so I'm going to set it back to edit. Put down my maker pen. Ah, there we go. And now we have some gravity. Ah! I can just kind of toss that thing over there. And now I've got, you know, rock that you can actually play games with here, or something along that line. Whee! Whoop! Whoop! Ha! And once you catch it, your hands kind of disappear. But here's this, you know, thing that you can manipulate and kind of inspect in front of you. And at the little interesting texture. Sit it on the desk here for a second. And yeah. Take a run. Let's see. I believe that there is... that's interesting. What am I going to do with this? What else did I kind of want to show off? That maybe is the basics. Just, you know, really quick, you can create things. Oh, there's also... grab my maker pen here and take a look at it. You can also bring in other options or other things that people have created. I'm going to go over here to props. And I believe this is some of the stuff created by the Rec Room team. So we've got stools, and of course we've got lots of fun weapons, and all of these are I shouldn't say non-violent, but they're definitely not bloody, and there's no death. You just get tagged out with things. So of course I'm going to spawn in a laser beam cannon, because why wouldn't you, right? So got to have one of those in there. And go back to my. Let's see what else we got. Oh, and of course I'm in the weapons section. I do want a shield. That is important. And some more fun stuff. Maybe we'll go for decors or anything I want to add to. Oh, here's something. Add a bell here. Let me close this. And there we go. I'm going to put down my maker pin for a second. And... ooh. Let's see. I'm going to go this way. And, you know, it's fully interactive, which is pretty awesome. And then, of course, we've got our laser cannon, because why wouldn't you have a laser cannon? And now, the real question is, does it actually affect the rock? Let's find out what gravity... Now that it's been interacted with gravity, or, I'm sorry, gravity affects it, I wonder if the laser cannon will affect it. We're going to find out. It apparently really affected it. Yay, science. I'm not sure where that went. Huh. I don't know if I obliterated it, or if it just flew somewhere that I'm not aware of. So that's the laser cannon. Fun for all ages. And of course we've got our shield here. To block, you know, people with laser cannons. That's important. Oops. That's not the button I wanted. Landed exactly on its point, which is rare. Alright, so let's say I wanted to build something a little bit bigger. I've got that flexibility. And I'm going to just go and delete some of my previous creations here. And all of the things you see here can be deleted. The walls can be deleted. The roofs can be deleted. You'll notice now that I've picked up my maker pen, you'll probably see, you'll notice that there's some things that have appeared and some connections that you're seeing. So there is the ability to add interactivity and scripting into the room. So you can make things happen. Based on circuits. So if you're familiar with redstone and that kind of thing, inputs and outputs, you will probably be able to find your way around here. It is slightly unique, so of course there are tutorials out there on the internet and things like that to get used to. These are some gadgets that aren't in use, but they come defaulted into the room, and I've just kind of left them there. But I'm going to quickly do, just a larger creation maybe, or at least I'm going to try to. I haven't done this in a while. Let's see. I have to remember how to fly. There we go. All right. Well, hello. Hello, hello, hello. And thank you for joining while I kind of fumble around in Rec Room. Oh, I forgot about... Yeah, I have built those rooms. Okay, cool. Let's see. All right, so flying is super useful for when you want to build things that are, obviously bigger than you are, and it's tricky to like, hey, how do you, build a giant volcano or something? So I'm actually going to open my palette again. I'm going to go to shapes. I'm thinking rocky texture maybe. Rocky might not be what I'm going to go with pyramid here. One of the things I'm thinking, since these guys are studying earth science, thinking about making a volcano. I don't know if pyramid is exactly, I don't know if that's the texture I want. So I'm going to go back to materials, and I actually might try a different texture. Cardboard. Makes perfect sense. Who doesn't like, cardboard volcanoes, right? And let's see, what color do I want? I want sort of a brownish dirt type color. Amber. Cantaloupe. Ew. Caramel. Caramel. Who doesn't like caramel? Caramel volcano sounds delicious. Okay. All right. So there's my little pyramid volcano type thing. I'm going to set it a little bit on the ground here, and you'll probably notice that it's really not all that big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop into my tool here. I'm going to go to scale, and I'm going to click on it, and what I want to do is just make it a little bigger, or maybe a lot bigger. And I'm going to fly here so I can get a bird's eye view. And I am totally going to scale this guy up. Yeah, let's fly this way, right through the wall. All right, so you'll notice that now, I think my my volcano thing is a lot bigger. Let's see, can I still grab this thing? I'm gonna have to, wow, this is a lot bigger than I was expecting. Scale really did its job well. Okay. So the base, and I am doing well, thank you very much. Assuming that I am not crushed by my ridiculously large pyramid thing that I made. Holy crud. I think scale worked better than I thought it was going to work. Okay, let's take a... Yeah, scale definitely worked better. Much better than I thought it was going to. It's a giant volcano, but it's easily picked up by human hands. Because, yes, that makes perfect sense. Okay, so you can see with flying, you have the ability to make ridiculously large structures, which comes in very handy. And this is, this is just me barely messing around. I'm gonna actually, and now that I move to this side, you'll notice quite clearly that it's like way off axis. Luckily, there is a fix for that. I'm going to hit rotate on my maker pen, click on this guy, and then I'm just going to rotate it on one of these axes. Axes? And it's not always convenient to move things by hand, especially when they start to get really large, like this particular object, which still isn't quite centered. Luckily, there is a move option on your maker pen. You could grab this guy, and we're just going to, move him down a little. All right. And it'll take a little adjusting and finagling, to kind of make it exactly the thing that you want. But, yeah, there we go. The Great Pyramid of School, of course. All right, so I'm just going to hit, I'm going to be done editing this for a second. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Oh, put the maker pin down. Okay, there we go. And let's take a little... Oop. I want to fly. I want to fly. I'm not flying very fast. There we go. Now I'm flying. Yay! And so now I have this thing. Whoa, crud. And now I've fallen again. I want to fly faster. There we go. Flying faster. Okay. So, and I keep hitting the non-fly button because I am incompetent when it comes to using tools. So anyway, yes, clearly is not the perfect structure, but I think it demonstrates like how easily you can construct things, and you know, I've built a quick pyramid. You know, if I wanted to add some, I don't know, to add a street or something. I don't know what else I want to add here. I think I can still change the color and texture. I believe I've got control over all these things back in the edit mode. Is it manipulate? That's not the one. There's definitely a way to do this, and I don't... Let's open my palette here. Ah, there we go. And change the color, I think. I don't know if this only affects the current creation, or... Let's see, I remember being able to do this. It's been so long since I've done it. Oh, maybe it's the recolor tool. Sigh. Yes, that's very sad. Okay. Recolor tool. Of course there's a way to change the color, and it's probably the one that, you know, talks about color. So I'm going to go back to this color here, and I'm going to go ahead and close that, and I want to be done editing. But yeah, this was just kind of a quick walkthrough of this little program, and some of the things that you can do. You saw some of the options in terms of, I'm going to open my palette again, some of the options of stuff that you can create. Tubes are super useful. Whee! And you can change the settings on the type of tubes that you are making. I hop into my settings menu. Oops, I'll go back here. I can change the tube size, change the number of facets. So if I want it to be, I think it makes it rounder. Yes, it does. So that's a cool thing you can do. Tube height. Ooh. So you can make skinnier tubes. You can make smaller tubes. So all these kinds of things. And I just want to delete all of that because that was just demo things. You can see how easy it is to undo stuff. And yeah, so just kind of a little temporary walkthrough. What I'm going to try and be doing is making a volcano in the next couple of days, so I might actually stream that. I am just barely scratching the surface of the cool stuff that is out there. If you look up Rec Room on YouTube, you can see some people that have done just some amazing things that I like. This is nothing, right? Like, you will see some absolutely just gorgeous, how do you manage to build, you know, stuff like that. So I hope this has been informative, and hopefully I will have something so that some of you can come around and check out some creations and interact with each other. Again, you can experience it in VR if you have a compatible system, PSVR, Oculus, etc. Or if you don't, you can also download the app for free from the iOS store if you have an the App Store if you have an iOS device. And yeah. Excellent. Well, I look forward to seeing some of you guys around soon. I'm going to take a little break, get some water, and I might come back and play around with this. Actually, maybe one last thing I kind of want to talk about is permissions. So for the rooms that you create, I'm going to go to this room. I'm going to go to settings, and you have options around, you know, making sure that, you know, people that you want are able to come into the room and people that you don't aren't. So you can ban people from the room, of course. You can assign roles, like in Minecraft. You can give people basically operator permissions or not. And you can assign people to different groups. So if I wanted to assign somebody as a co-owner, they would give them a lot of properties. I could just click invite here. And give people moderator functions, host functions, etc., etc. And you can allow your guests to be able to create things. And yeah, all kinds of cool things. So anyway, I'm going to take a little break, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this very, very, very brief look. You have full access to all the creation tools in VR as well as iOS. So hopefully you've seen my like tiny little, pathetic little room, and you say, wow, I can do so much better than that, and you use this as a tool to totally unleash your creativity. So I wish you all the best. May the force be with you.